Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with an on-the-fly review for you. And today I'm talking about Nosferatu, released on Christmas Day, directed by Robert Eggers and stars Bill Skarsgård, Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Johnson, Emma Corrin, Ralph Ineson, and Willem Dafoe. This is a remake of F.W. Murnau's 1922 classic, which itself was an unofficial, copyright-friendly adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. You can argue that Matt Schreck's performance as Count Orlok is the first iconic film character. It's possible. As far as actor in a role, we'd already had, there had already been Sherlock Holmes and Zorro and like Hunchback of Notre Dame and Frankenstein movies by this time. But the image of him as Orlok is truly something that's stood the test of time over a century now. Anyhow, the whole setup here is it's Dracula. I'll probably be using Dracula character names for a lot of these characters, especially the vampire hunters. When a ambitious young real estate man goes to Transylvania to offer a mysterious and eccentric old count some land in his home country, his home city. He is held captive, he is attacked, he is nearly drank to death, and eventually escapes and makes his way back to, well, England or Germany, depending on what version you're watching. But, and yes, the presence of the vampire eventually makes its way there, and it causes a plague of death. And of course, our heroes have to come together to figure out what's wrong, what's going on, where is the beast, and how do we kill it. It's Dracula. It's great. This does amp up. I mean, like the rest of his films, there's horniness, uber violence, but there's also a very strong focus on authenticity. I think the standout performances in this film were really interesting design for Orlok. I think visually he looks like they're trying to do a hybrid of Schreck's original design and how he's described in Stoker's novel. Willem Dafoe is an unhinged Van Helsing, which is the best way to play Van Helsing. I thought Aaron Johnson was terrific in this as Arthur. Both him and, I would argue that him and Skarsgård were the two best performances in this film, and these were two guys who really needed a good movie right now. I do think the gore and the sexuality was a bit over the top. It's not romanticized like it is in the Twilight films, or even to a degree something like Blade. And I also like was a very clean, clear, precise image. Good versus evil. Evil is the devil, good is God, and there's no bones about it. The photography is great, the score is great, sound design, Skarsgård's bizarre performance. He is Count Dracula. He sounds old and weary and kind of inhuman. He's very good in it. One thing, I guess, the biggest thing that stood out that I didn't really care for in this film is I didn't like throwing in two kids that aren't part of the book or the original film just because Robert Eggers always has to kill kids now in his movies. The only movie he did where he didn't call off a kid was the only movie he did where there wasn't a fucking kid. I honestly, I didn't really like Lily Rose Depp's performance in this. I understand what they were going for. She's possessed and being fed on by this incubus. But her lashing around so much in the movie just can't. I laughed more times than I should have. Okay. All that being said, I think this is one of the finest films of the year, probably the best horror movie of the 20s so far. This is I highly recommend seeing Nosferatu. I dare say it is the best adaptation of Dracula I have ever seen. 5 stars. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.